You are already dope. Like, you're already awesome. Do you guys get that shit? A lot of it always sounds like shit talk. You're already amazing, and that has nothing to do with how much better you can be. Does that make sense? Bettering yourself isn't completely changing who you are. That's like this weird misconception is like, oh, it's like everything's like full of judgment. No, potential. You fucking idiots. Just listen. Potential. You're already dope, right? And you always have been. What you've done is you've added a bunch of stuff into your life. You've added all of that. And a lot of it's negative stuff that is not who you are. It's how you're acting, it's how you're behaving, but it's not who you are. Those things that you do, they manifest emotionally as small bits of shame and guilt because you know it's not who you are, it's how you're being. Those are the things that you need to change. So you're already dope. Your life is already great. You should already appreciate everything that's going on. And at the exact same time, you should be constantly trying to tweak it into a better situation. You should be trying to work on the things that are your shortcomings. Those aren't who you are. This whole misconception of like, well, this is just how I am. Do you guys know that I used to say that about being an alcoholic? I used to say that to people. I used to say, this is just how I am. You don't understand. You'll never feel how I feel. And you don't understand what happens in my brain. My brain goes a million miles an hour, and alcohol makes me turn it off every now and again. It just gives me rest and reprieve from the constant fucking perpetual thoughts that never turn off for me. I used to literally say that, and I used to believe it. And now I'm here to tell you, that has nothing to do with who I was. That was how I was behaving. I was behaving like an ungrateful little shithead. And it was making me feel worse on the daily. And it was making me become something that I was not. So no, that's not who you are. The overeating and the fucking laziness, it's not who you are, I promise. It's how you're being. Who you are is an amazing fucking human who's capable of every single thing that you've ever wanted and doing all the shit that you think is over your head or is too hard for you and, oh no, that's just not for me. All those things that you're saying that towards, those are things that you know that you want to do. And you know that you can accomplish them. And I know that you fucking can too. Because, like I said, when I was in that state where I used to say all that fucking nonsense fuckery and pretend that people just didn't understand the special enigmatic me that was so confusing and puzzling to everybody else that there's no way they could grasp the infinite uniqueness that was my soul. Listen to how that fucking sounds. That's egocentric madness. That's nonsense. That's a complete and utter baseless lack of reality. That's living all up in here and having so fucking few moments of just existing in a peaceful state. None of you want that. None of you feel good when that's going on. The whole mission of this is to make people feel better. And with the discipline and commitment part, that comes in because people like me know that the only way to fucking feel better is to do it. Is to actually think about the things that make you feel better. And then you have to do those daily. And when you don't, you feel like shit. And when you do, you feel amazing. That's how it goes. Does that make sense? That's where the discipline and commitment part comes in. A lot of you guys are thinking that the way to feel better is to have everybody placate and co-sign your bullshit all the time. Because then maybe you can be off the hook and you don't have to feel bad about the things that you're not doing. That's false. That's a false narrative. You feel the way you're feeling because of internal shit. It has nothing to do with what other people think of you. It has nothing to do with like where you're at. It has nothing to do with that. You're feeling something inside, and the thing that's inside is called your conscience. It's telling you that it doesn't feel great. When it doesn't feel great, it needs you to make modifications to the things that you're doing that are making it not feel great. So you need to tweak those things. How do you know what those things are? A morning process of sitting in silence and listening honestly and openly about the shit that bothers you about you. Why do you think I'm always talking about minimizing the ego? Because when your guy's ego is at an all-time fucking high, you'll hear those things, your conscience will still speak to you, and you got earplugs in. You don't hear any of it. When it comes up and you even start to hear a little bit of it faintly, you will tell it to stop speaking to you. I don't want to hear this right now. It's all avoid it. Oh, I don't know. Not right now. I don't want to think about that or deal with that. That's because your guys' emotional stress management is low as fuck. That little bit of shame and guilt comes up and it's just too much. So you need to toughen the fuck up and you need to start being able to hear it. And the first way to do that is to admit what I'm saying right now to you is true. That's your ego. That you hear your conscience sometimes and you tell it to shut the fuck up and buzz off instead of actually going, you know what, there's some merit to that. Thanks, soul, for barking at me because I know that the things you're barking at me are in my best interest. Devils and angels, guys. The devil is going to convince you that everything that's bad in the world is good. And that's good for you. And you're just special. Maybe no one gets you. And that's why you do all this fucked up shit. Victim mindset is the devil in your ear. Everything's about you, man. Everything's about you. Nobody understands how hard you've got it. That's not the authentic voice of God, I'll tell you that. The authentic voice of God will tell you, hey, hardships are going to come, my boy, and you're going to be fine. You're going to get through them. Everything I throw at you is meant to be. It's a lesson, and you're going to handle it because you're one of my amazing children and you got this. That's the message of positivity and power. That's the message that people are talking about when they talk about any spirituality and they're talking about the positive realm of your spirit. The positive part of your spirit is never going to say, you suck, do nothing. Nothing that you can do will work. The negative side of life is always going to tell you that. Oh man, you can't do it. You can't handle it. And you're not good enough. And you're not strong enough. And honestly, these good things in life, the biggest one that the fucking devil will tell you is that these amazing things in life that these other people have, that's not for you. You're a loser. That's his number one fucking thing that he will put in your ear, is that you're a loser. You don't deserve these amazing things. And what I'm telling you is you do. You fucking deserve them. Everyone deserves an amazing life. It's about what you do and how hard you work to get it. That's how you get there. And the reason to get there is because you fucking deserve it. And the reason you deserve it is honestly because everybody around you needs you to feel like you deserve it. Because when you feel that amount of love for yourself, you can gift that love away to everybody else. Emotional exchange rate is real as fuck. You people that think you're so caring, but you hate yourself, I promise that the love you're giving away, it's fucking diminished. It's small. It's fragile. It's like insipid. You want to fill yourself up so that you have a cup that overfloweth, because a full and overflowing cup can pour into other people. You can never pour into anybody else when you fucking hate yourself. I've been around so many people recently, in the last couple of years, I've been around so many people exhibiting these massive amounts of savior behavior. This false compassion shit. Maybe if I help everybody else, it will cover up the fact that I fucking hate myself. And then what happens is when they try to do that, they pour the last little 10% out of their cup and they fail everyone around them that they're trying to help. They can't show up consistently. They can't do it with enough fucking fortitude and aggressive fucking care. They just can't because they're diminished. That's because the amount of love that they possess for themselves is small. They need to keep pouring into it all the time because it's empty. If you're empty, please stop trying to save everybody else. It's really bothersome. I've seen so many people do that, even people in my personal life. It's not compassionate. It's not compassionate to hate yourself and then to pretend that you care so much about other people that you'll just bleed yourself in and drain this small little tiny level that you can gift away to the world. And then you'll diminish it, and then you'll turn into a fucking liability, and you'll actually start hurting those people more than you're helping. I promise that's what happens. So just remember that the whole point of life is to understand that you deserve everything that you want. It's just not going to fall in your fucking lap. And I'm glad that it doesn't. You people out there that think you are just owed everything. Let me go ahead and tell you, gratitude is reserved, motherfucker. It's reserved. It's reserved for people that go get it. It's reserved for people that work on it. And it's reserved most for people that are so dedicated to the greater good that they will do anything to work on themselves, because that's more important than their fucking ego telling them like, oh, it makes me feel bad that I'm failing. Their commitment is so much greater than that to the overall greater good that they don't care if they feel insecure about something. They're going to go straight into the action that will fix that insecurity. They're not going to project that onto you and say it's your fault that they feel insecure. They're going to say, this is on me. I'm going to change this. I'm going to dedicate tirelessly to becoming the best person I can, because everybody on this planet needs me. They need me to be valuing myself at a high enough level that I can value all the rest of them. So just get back out there and understand, the more worth you create in yourself by the daily processes and habits will lead you into finally actually having that cup that's got enough resources in it to where you can start pouring into people. But before that, you ain't got it.